All right, Coach. So obviously, big game week for you guys up against a ranked Kansas State team. Huge win against UCF at home, kind of stamping your guys' identity at winning home games at home. What do you make of this matchup for you and the position group with the tight ends, and how their impact might impact this game? For you guys?
I mean, obviously this is a really good Kansas State team at home. They play tenacious defense. They fly to the ball. They give you a lot of different looks. They're physical. They're fast. They run to the ball. And so I think from the standpoint of the tight ends, our ability to create an extra gap in the run game, to put hats on hats and block at the first level to get to the second and third levels because their guys are all over the place. So I think tight end's an important piece of the run game and the pass game this week. For us, we just want to continue to build on the success we've had and our ability to run the ball. Obviously we're fired up about Scat. He's had an unbelievable season and he deserves most of the credit. I know the O-line gets a lot of love, but the tight ends feel like we've been a big part of that too. So we just want to continue to show up, kind of have that lunch pail mentality and do whatever it takes to win the game.
On that note, you have a very versatile room. You have guys that are really good at catching the ball who also block and make plays, as you said, in the run game. What do you make, or how do you think how successful would you rate the season so far from your group and how they've been able to kind of work as a unit and be a real plug and glue piece to the team whenever they need something different?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we kind of brought in we have a whole brand new tight end room, and so obviously with that there was some uncertainty on the role that they would play, and I think they've done a really tremendous job. I think I've said it from day one. I think that the pieces that we have really complement each other well, and I think they play well together. They work well together. We can use different packages of those guys and different combinations of those guys. So I think they've done a great job all year. Obviously Shamon's been a big spark for us. I think he's third on the team in receiving, and he's been a red zone threat, and had another touchdown last week. So done a really good job. But obviously the ability to bring Marqueson in and what he does with his size and length and physicality, and then Hartpool is our kind of utility guy that does everything. And so I've been pleased with the room. Obviously there's room for improvement. We can continue to get better, and that's what we're pushing for every single day. But I think up to this point they've done a good job, and I think they've been a positive for this team this year.
You already mentioned Shamon and his ability to be an impact on the offensive end, whether it's receiving, scoring touchdowns. It feels like every week he's kind of getting on the stat sheet more and more. Have you seen a growth in his maybe demeanor or character as the season's gone on, so I'm just getting more excited for some of these situations?
I wouldn't say growth or demeanor. I think he came in, and once he got healthy and kind of started going full in fall camp, I thought he brought a spark to our team. I think he's been consistent throughout. I think it's a matter of us realizing that he's a weapon and making sure that we have a plan to get him some touches, because he's a good teammate. He's going to do whatever we ask him to do, and he had a couple games where he didn't see the ball very much, but he still impacted the game without the ball. And so I think when you have a guy like that, you have to reward him, and a kid that shows up, I think that's what makes him special. He really is an every down tight end because he's physical in the run game. He strikes people. He's athletic on the perimeter blocking, and he does a good job in pass protection. So, but he also, I think when we get the ball in his hands, I think it makes our offense better. And so I think Coach Arroyo's done a good job of having a plan the last few weeks to make sure that we can get him some targets and some touches early in games to get him going. But the thing I've been proud of with Shamon, really from start to finish, is how many times he touches the ball doesn't impact how he shows up to work, and he shows up and does his job to the best of his ability. If it's with the ball, great. If it's without the ball, he doesn't really care. And obviously when you have guys like that, you want to reward them.
And then schematically for you guys going into this game, you mentioned obviously a very good ranked team in Kansas State. Anything in particular you're looking for? Maybe you can attack this point using you guys, or having different parts that you can kind of exploit?
I think at this point in the season, you do what you do it well, you execute at a high level, you win the margins. You focus on those things. It's not like we're going to reinvent the wheel and come out with new schemes or something. We got to do what we do well. Obviously, we're gonna study them. We've been studying them and get into the sets and do the things that take advantage of what it is that they do. But they're a good football team. They're going to have a plan for us. And so I think at this point, you got to line it up and you got to execute at a high level, and you got to convert on third downs. You got to score in the red zone. You got to protect the ball. All those things that we've done well this year, we have to do at a very high level.
I think, Coach, when you talk about obviously without the ball in the hand, I know I talked to you preseason about guys developing, yes, not just catching but blocking. When Cam's having the season he's having, and everybody's kind of getting in on that, with the development, or I should say the growth of the tight ends in blocking, I mean, when Cam's doing stuff like that, I know it gives the team energy, but how much does it pump them up?
No, I mean, we got a kid that's legitimately in the Heisman talk. and we take pride in that. I know the O-line takes a lot of pride in it, and we kind of feel like we're an extension of that. Sometimes the tight ends don't get mentioned in that same breath, but we are our run game is really tight end centric, and we're involved in a lot of it. So we love it. We take pride in it. Cam's really kind of the heart and soul of the offense, and that's why last week was such a big win for us without him. That to see Sam step up and other guys step up. But yeah, we love Scat, and guys fight for him. And when you have a guy like that gives you everything he's got, and he leaves everything he has on the field for the team, it's contagious, and guys want to step up and do their part to help him. And so that's why we're 7-2 right now. We got guys playing for each other. They care about each other. They care about the team, and they play hard. And it's fun to be a part of a team like that.
And then obviously with Sam coming in, you mentioned obviously Shimon came in through the portal too, but with that running game, how do you feel has helped the growth of the passing game? Like you said, Shimon getting in the end zone and just, obviously Sam feeling more comfortable, but how has the running game helped their growth? Quarterback and tight end get on the same page?
I think it's everything, because if you can't run the ball, you're going to get a lot of drop 8 coverages and things. So when you run the ball effectively like we do, run the ball on first down, you can take some shots, and you get a lot of one-on-one matchups, and so I think that everything that we do in this offense schematically, the bread and butter of what Coach Roa does is built off of running the ball and the run game, and then everything sets off from there. So that's really the key to us, and that's what we got to continue to do.
And then I know I talked to you last year. Obviously a tough year. You go 3-9, but at the same time, the energy from you as a coaching staff and the players, obviously that were here, but that stuck around. Now being 7-2, when you look at this, when you go back on that, you see the players, obviously leadership players taking more, of a role, but that energy you guys kept, how do you think it affected the team, spring, fall camp, and now to this point of the season?
Yeah, I don't think there was ever a point last year where we didn't believe in the direction we were headed. There's no doubt it was hard. It's hard to lose, and nobody enjoyed that. But I think we all felt like with the people we had here and some of the kids, the core of the kids that we had here, that we were moving in the right direction. And I think you saw that even in offseason in recruiting. I thought that we were ranked really highly in recruiting. It's because kids were coming in here, families were coming in here, and they could feel like we're building something special here. And so it's awesome. I think we're obviously ahead of schedule with where we are right now. But yeah, I think that's what kept the energy high and kept everybody positive, is because we felt like we were going to do something special here. We felt like we had the right people in place, and we had to just add some pieces and continue to grow and build. And we're nowhere near where we want to be and where we're capable of going, but we're definitely moving in the right direction. And it's been awesome. This has been a really enjoyable year. Obviously, with last year still so fresh in our minds, but feeling like, man, let's just keep doing what we're doing. Let's just keep getting better. Coach talks about all the, don't worry about anything else except for showing up and being the best you can be every single day. And I think our kids have bought into that. Our coaches have bought into that. Coach has done a really good job, Coach Dillingham, of setting and establishing a culture and maintaining that culture and keeping it in our heads every day. And so, yeah, this is the fruits of our labor and the fruits of our positive, attitudes and the work. And that's it. And the minute we start feeling like we've arrived, or that, that's when it falls off. So we just have to continue to show up every single day and be the best version of ourselves and get better. And if we keep doing that, I think this program is moving in the right direction.
And then to piggyback off that, lastly for me, when you talk about, and throughout the years I've known you, it is complementary football, offense, defense, and yes, special teams. But for the first touchdown of the year to be a defensive touchdown, getting a special teams touchdown, like you said, ahead of schedule, but I know as coaches you envision that kind of complementary football, but how much has the team just exceeded that in just picking each unit, picking each other up?
Yeah, it is. I think it's every single play, every snap, we're out there to compete to win that snap and win, beat the guy across from us. And, Coach Ragel's done a really good job with special teams unit, and I know Coach Dillingham's been involved with that as well this year, with scheming some things up and just making sure like we're not just checking a box in any certain area. We are trying to get better every single day in every single area, and that's, you never know where it's going to show up. It might be an offensive dominated game where you outscore somebody. It might be a defensive dominated game, and Coach Ward does an amazing job, and his staff of putting our guys in position. Last week it was awesome to see the special teams unit step up and make a really game-changing play. So that's what good teams do. Good teams find ways to win. Like you mentioned, they play complementary football, and everybody shows up knowing that play could be the play that changes the game, that makes an impact on the game, and you just have to approach every snap like that. And if you get beat, you got to have a quick memory, you got to flush it, and you got to move on to the next one. And so that's culture, and I think that's what Coach Dillingham has instilled, and I think guys have bought into it, and I think it's showing up.